Bill Cosby retrial judge weighs whether to make jurors' names public. Their names will mean nothing to most Americans, but the identities of the jurors who convicted Bill Cosby of sexual assault last week could be made public soon by the judge, who expressed reluctance to do so. Judge Stephen O'Neill is weighing whether to disclose the names of the now-dismissed jury and 6 alternates following a hearing Tuesday to consider media demands for the identities. Lawyers for the Associated Press and other news outlets cited a long-standing Pennsylvania Supreme Court ruling that juror names should be made public under the First Amendment. Prosecutors opposed releasing the names, citing privacy concerns. Cosby's lawyer didn't take a side. O'Neill suggested the media petition might be too late since the jury had already issued a public, but anonymous, statement. One juror had already appeared on TV, and some news outlets appeared to have all the names anyway. O'Neill acknowledged that state law called for making the names public, but he felt sympathy for jurors' desire to be left alone. He said jurors had reported to him that they have been pestered by reporters since the trial's end. Each and every one of them have either had the media or the press on their front lawns, constantly harassing them or calling them up, O'Neill said. The 7 men and 5 women of the jury, plus the 6 alternatives, had been sequestered in suburban Philadelphia during the 2-week trial and their names were sealed. Once the verdict was read on Thursday, after about 12 hours of deliberations, the jurors and the alternates were told they were free to go, although O'Neill warned against interactions with the media. Cosby was convicted of 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault in connection with an encounter with former Temple University employee Andrea Constand at his suburban Philadelphia home in January 2004. She said he drugged and molested her. He said it was a consensual encounter and he gave her an over-the-counter allergy medication. The retrial jury issued a statement Monday to some media, including the Associated Press, labeled Official Statement from the Jurors in the Commonwealth v. Cosby 2018. It was unsigned. It opened by saying the jurors were proud to say, with 100% conviction, that each of us performed our duties with firm adherence to these sacred principles of innocent until proven guilty. The statement also rejected suggestions that the Cosby retrial was influenced by racial divisions or the Me Too movement to call out sexual harassment. Our decision was not influenced in any way by factors other than what we heard and saw in the courtroom, the jury statement declared. Not once were race or the Me Too movement ever discussed, nor did either factor into our decision, as implied in various media outlets. Simply put, we were asked to assess the credibility of accuser Andrea Constand's account of what happened to her, and each one of us found her account credible and compelling. So far, only one juror from the retrial jury has come forward in public, juror number 1, Harrison Cinder, 22, who appeared Monday on ABC's Good Morning America. He said he personally was most influenced by the comedian's own words in a 2005 deposition, in which Cosby acknowledged obtaining drugs to give to women he sought for sex. Cinder said the deposition testimony, which also was introduced at the first trial, was more influential than Me Too or the 5 other accusers of Cosby who were allowed by O'Neill to testify at the retrial after being barred from the first trial. Cosby's first trial on the charges ended last summer in a mistrial when the jury was unable to reach a unanimous verdict. Prosecutors immediately vowed to retry him. O'Neill was similarly reluctant to release jurors' names after Cosby's first trial, but eventually did so after the media petitioned for it. But he barred jurors from any disclosures about their deliberations, warning them not to talk about how their fellow jurors voted. As it turned out, only a handful of jurors from the first trial talked to the media, anonymously, about how they personally viewed the case. One juror said on the record that he believed the first trial ended in a deadlocked jury because there was not enough evidence presented to convict Cosby. Cosby was not at the hearing Tuesday. He is confined to his home in suburban Philadelphia awaiting a pre-sentencing assessment. Contributing, The Associated Press.